Welcome to Will Podcast for Laughs. On this episode, we talk with V's friend Natalie. She tells us about her work working for the Majestic Repertory Theatre, V's and Natalie's trip to Shasta Lake, and their chance Halloween meeting. It's all today on Will Podcast for Laughs.
Hey guys, welcome to Will Podcast for Laughs with V.
Ian.
And Taylor.
Somebody's drinking water.
And Taylor.
Taylor.
Today is Fun Friday, and we have a very special guest today. Someone very near and dear to my house.
Woo!
My heart, not my house. My heart. This is Natalie.
That's how you pronounce the name.
Yes, Taylor's been trying to guess your name all week.
I thought it was Chips Ahoy.
Oh, got it.
No,
No,
Natalie.
it's just Natalie.
Natalie and I go way back. We met, oh my gosh, so long ago.
At least 10 years ago.
At least a decade ago,
Yeah.
for sure. Back in our younger years. And
When you were
then,
youngins.
Back before the dinosaurs.
And she's very involved with the local theater scene here in Vegas. So I thought it'd be cool to bring her on, talk with her about that and how that all goes and what they have going on. But before that, do you want to tell the boys about how we met? Because they've been
Yeah. So we actually met on a Halloween.
Yes.
When I was
Best
in
holiday.
college. Yeah, back in the day. And it was a big house party. And I sort of was milling about in my fantastically homemade
Yes.
Morton Salt Girl costume.
Yes.
And
Very clever.
like a lot of the girls were dressed pretty scantily, and you know, as you do for Halloween.
Which is why I don't like it.
And I found Vanessa, who was not scantily clad,
No.
and we bonded over that. And you know, ladies, like, wear what you want to wear, whatever makes you feel good. But you know, some of us, that's not for us, and that's fine for us.
That's what we
But
bonded over.
yeah, it was kind of cool.
And then a whole friendship came out of that.
That's
Here we
awesome.
are.
Yeah, last minute trips to Shasta.
We literally spent.
I just told that story.
Did you?
Like 3 days ago.
We spent, what was it, 14 hours or something like that in a car that we barely knew each other. We spent like 11 hours on the road talking in the car. So
That's
Nice.
cool.
we were thrown into friendship real quick.
that was like 2
Just
months into being friends.
Dive
Yeah.
right in. Yeah.
Good thing she wasn't a serial killer, you know.
Yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
could have
Oh,
been
yeah,
awkward.
yeah.
Could have
That
been.
would have been pretty
Could have
weird.
been
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what it is you do and the company that you represent?
Yeah, so locally, I'm an actor. I work with a lot of different companies, but primarily I work with Majestic Repertory Theatre, which is a cool little storefront theater on Main Street downtown, next to Buffalo Exchange. And my friend Troy Hurd is the artistic director there, and he just does a fantastic job. He picks really cool shows, likes to take chances on the shows that he's producing, but also likes to do a lot of, you know, classics. Like he just did Cabaret earlier this year, and that was so good. And then a show coming up this spring is Our Town.
Cool.
So,
I love Our Town. I did
Yeah.
that in high school. Well, I said I did it. I mean, I read the book.
yeah,
So-
I mean,
That's-
I think every high school does Our
Yeah,
Town. 'cause I did too.
yeah. I read it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then we had to do one scene, and I thought, I was like, this is it. I'm going to be the next big actress because I killed this scene.
Yeah.
But it's
just
difficult. I know.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And so, okay, talk to us about acting. So I know a little bit about this just being your friend. I know that you have a history in it. You did it, and you dibbled in theater and in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that's always been your, like, you know, dream since 5 years old. You kind of fell back into it and then fell in love with it again, right?
Yeah. So I started doing a lot of theater when I was in middle school, and then sort of fell away from it for a little bit. And then actually, we worked on My Fair Lady together.
We did.
On doing tech stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, which was a fun dive back in. And after that, I started auditioning for shows and meeting people and
Yeah.
networking. I did a lot of stage management to get my foot in the door because they always need a good stage manager.
Yeah.
And they always have too many actors.
And she's really good at that. Like, what we talked about starting a business way back in the day because we were very similar in our organizational skills. So, like, you're really good at organizing things, and I cannot be on stage. I'm a backstage person at the most. But
That's why we do podcasts.
yeah, that's why we are here.
Voice only.
Yes, but you
we're on
you have a
camera.
knack for it, and I've seen you perform in a couple things. You're really, really good at what you do. I want to know, like, it looks so hard, like to memorize all of those things, and then on top of that, then bring a character to life,
Yeah.
and like all the like.
I'm sure it's quite a challenge.
Yes, please explain how you do it, because I don't know how you could do all that and then still
Too much
remember
effort.
like your codes to your ATM card.
So we don't script this stuff. We just wing it.
Yeah. Well, that's something, and I'll loop back to that with the immersive theater. But the easiest part is learning the lines. So once you learn the lines, you
Yeah.
can start to build out from there. And you know, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Because I'm not classically trained, I've tried to take as many workshops that have been offered locally.
Yeah.
To draw what I can from those and put the little tools in my toolbox.
Do you think there's a lot of those? Like, do you feel like Vegas could have more?
They could have
workshops?
more. Absolutely. Could
Okay.
have more. Because unless you're in a theater program at UNLV or CSN, there aren't regular classes. There are some film classes.
Yeah. There's
There
not a
are
lot for people
pop-ups.
outside of school, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's not like, I guess because you compare it to somewhere like LA or New York or
Yeah.
Chicago, where they also have, you know, lots of improv. Here we have this really great place called The Hub,
Yeah.
and they offer classes and workshops and stuff like that, which is so great.
I found that same, like, when I was doing comedy. It's the same thing. Like, there's such a huge stand-up scene in New York and Chicago and LA, but then come to Vegas and it's like you're going to stand in a coffee shop in the back.
Yeah.
And that's it. So there's not really, like, a big artistic scene here, which is sad because there's a lot of people who want to do that out here.
Well, I think it is a pretty big scene, but it's not comparable to these big cities that have had it for so long, that have these established places where people can gather and grow
Sure.
and learn and teach, all of the above.
Yeah.
Here we're still developing that, and it's getting there. There are some really good companies that are providing workshops and offering paid work and trying to develop the talent in the city.
Yeah.
But it's still hard. I mean, it's
Like
Yeah.
you mentioned,
burgeoning. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We just got our first real professional Roadhouse theater, like what, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Smith Center. I mean, that's all these other cities have had those places for 100 years at least. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, we're very baby in that, which is weird because we're the entertainment capital of the world. So you think we would have
More,
a better setup for those things, but good to
Building
hear
our
that
own
it's
talent.
growing and it's getting better.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you say is like one of the biggest struggles that you guys face in what it is, like what you do? Like, what would you say is like the hardest thing about it?
I think as an actor in general, it's hard to be vulnerable sometimes because as a person, it's hard to be vulnerable. When you can work with a great cast, great other actors on stage, you can hopefully get to a really beautiful point of truth and honesty and open up to be vulnerable where you can share it with the audience.
You can portray that feeling.
Yeah. So I was just talking with Troy actually yesterday. A lot of immersive theater is horror based, so they kind of come from this idea of not necessarily just like a haunted house, but from that sort of theme.
That shock kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And I was saying how as that can be fun and exciting and scary and
Yeah.
invigorating, for me, that's kind of an easy tactic to make people feel vulnerable. If you make them scared, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a really honest moment with another person in an immersive scene with an audience member than scare them and make them feel like they opened up something.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather them open up in a more
Unique.
emotional way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
less forced.
Yeah. What has been okay? So do you know how many things you have worked on and how many things you have started? I know it's a lot, but I'm wondering if you know that number.
I don't know the number off the top of my head.
It has to be upwards of like what though?
Well, I've
Ballpark.
probably been doing shows for about 6 years.
You guys do them quick.
Yeah,
You get them out quick.
And I probably do around 5 shows a year at least.
Dang. See.
So 30,
A lot.
around 30.
Okay.
I mean, my resume, I'm starting to make the cuts. So when I first started again, I remember crying to Mike, my boyfriend, about how I'm like, I don't have anything to put on my resume,
And
and
now
now I
you're
have to like cut the stuff that's not that great. I'm like, they don't care about that.
Yeah. That's a good feeling. That feels good when you're like, oh, look, I have this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
You have things to pull from for sure. Okay, so then if you can think back into your brain, what would you say has been the one that was most enjoyable or most fun?
That's a lot of them are so fun for different reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would say my favorite, most enjoyable was our recent production of Measure for Measure by William Shakespeare. We for sure adapted it. There was not very much Shakespeare dialogue in the show, but it was something that we developed. I co-directed on it too.
Oh, nice!
On top of
That's
acting,
awesome.
which was a new adventure for me. It was really scary to kind of have that responsibility. But
was that your first time stepping into directing?
Yeah, like in a really formal way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was scary, but basically we turned the story of Measure for Measure, which is, happens in Elizabethan times, but we set it in the 1970s Lost Wages, City of Lost Wages. And the plot is there's this crime-filled city, and the Duke, who's in charge of the city, decides to leave for unknown reasons, but you find out that he's basically putting his second to the test to see if he will stand up to be this moral character. And he's so moral that it blinds him from actually being a moral person, and he ends up trying to coerce a nun to sleep with him to release her brother who's been imprisoned.
That makes sense.
So it was very Kavanaugh-ish.
Yeah.
But it was really cool because what happens is the audience arrives, they're part of the party, and then after the first phase, we call them phases in this particular show, we move them to different parts. So we built out the whole theater to have different locations inside.
That's awesome.
And we would send the audience or take the audience with the characters, and the story would develop. Story would develop in these different scenes, so everyone gets a unique perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. So then at the end, they can kind of come together and be like, "Oh, I was with the nun. Like, what happened with that? Oh, I went back to the jail, and I saw this guy, and he got his head cut off." Like,
so is that what you mean when you say immersive theater, or is that like what you're getting at?
Yeah. So that's an immersive show. Immersive actually envelops a lot of stuff. It includes LARPing, which is live action role playing, and VR, virtual reality, altered reality. Haunted houses or haunts, which is usually a little bit above haunted houses. There's more acting in haunts. And then that also can include pop-ups. So in LA, it's really popular to have a pop-up bar that's, right now they have a really cool like 90s grunge pop-up where you go and you're immersed. It's it's almost like walking onto a movie set, but then there's action that happens with actors.
Oh, cool.
And there can be differences of how interactive it is with the audience. So I did a show that was immersive, site-specific, where the audience comes and goes from motel room to motel room and sees a scene in the room, and the actors are unaware. It's a wall. There's the fourth wall is there, but the audience is like crammed into this tiny space.
Oh, cool.
So it gives you this feeling. It's a seedy motel, so you kind of come in like, oh, what's going to happen here? Or it can be, oh, hey, I really need you to help me with this. I'm gonna bring you over, and you're gonna help me write a love note, or or I can say like I can give you a role almost, and you get to play along.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like the dinner and a show thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like dinner. I mean that's included in immersive theater too.
Those are my favorite. I want to do one of those. Those look so fun. I did a murder mystery dinner for my birthday one year.
That's cool.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was
we
really
did
fun.
That. Yeah, Natalie killed it. She overshined everybody.
Yeah, I've got really good detective skills.
She does. Okay, so I want to know, what would you say to someone out there who maybe is thinking about taking acting or to the next level, wants to be more serious about it, wants to get more involved? Where do you go? Where do you start?
Yeah, so just audition for shows. All the theaters in town have Facebook pages, websites, so you can go on there on all of those. And usually they have an email list so you can sign up and get alerts. Majestic Repertory typically does season auditions, so they audition in the summertime and try and fill out their whole season.
Okay.
They will hold additional auditions if they need to, but typically it's once a year, and that's at majesticrepertory.com. And the Facebook page, just Google or plug it in, and they've got an Instagram and everything.
Okay. And we'll throw all that stuff up on the website too for people to just kind of be able to access it easily. What do you guys have coming up then?
Yeah, so right now they just opened last week Spring Awakening, which is a rock musical. The music's written by Duncan Sheik. And it's a really cool story about these German students learning about their sexuality, these German teenagers. So that's going on right now. Our next immersive is actually going to be Our Town. It's going to be set in like the church, sort of the church hall, where you would have like a big catered event and stuff like that. So that's the next one. That one opens April 11th through the 5th.
Okay.
And between those, there's a cool new play coming out called Tight End by Rachel Bukowski of Chicago. This is a really cool new play. It's been produced not very much yet, but it's about a girl who wants to be a football player in high school.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I want to go to that one. Can I dress up like a football player?
Do it.
Yes, be the only one in the audience
Yeah.
like that. I remember I saw you do something where there was like water guns involved. I don't understand.
Oregon Trail?
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah, we're actually bringing it back this summer.
I remember I was sitting out there and all of a sudden people brought out these water guns and they were shooting. I was like, where's my water gun? Like, I didn't know this. So their shows are really, really fun.
That's
you guys
cool.
definitely go check it out. It's a fun thing to do
It
other
seems
than,
exciting.
between movies and books. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about we're going to do a garden party show.
Okay.
And we were talking about some of the different tracks. So we kind of call them tracks that we want to put the audience on.
Right.
And it's immersive theater is where my heart is. It's so freaking cool. And everybody comes out with a different experience, which, I don't know.
Which is really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It is cool. And
It's exciting.
You're killing it. And it's super cool to see you continue to grow in what you're doing. And that's awesome. You guys have any questions for her?
Of the upcoming shows, of course, are Spring Awakening, Tight End, Our Town, The Legend of Georgia McBride, The Manson Family, an opera, Horrorwood Video, Clown Bar 2, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Storyville.
Yeah.
Of those, which one are you looking forward to most?
Well, Clown Bar 2, because I was in Clown Bar 1, and it was badass. And Clown Bar 2, we actually commissioned the playwright to write us the second. So it's sort of custom for us.
Oh, cool.
My clown Petunia will be making a valiant return, which I'm pretty excited about. And then probably Storyville, because that's going to be an immersive that I'm building with Troy.
Sweet.
So,
I think they all sound really cool.
Awesome.
Your outfits and your hair makeup are always on point, and you do a lot of it.
I
You
do a
do
lot
all
of
of it
it
by
myself.
yourself, right?
Almost all of it.
Yeah.
For Marie Antoinette last year, we had an amazing costume designer, Ruben Permel, who works for Cirque du Soleil, and he did our costumes and our amazing wigs. Were so beautiful in that.
But she's had to dibble and do her own hair before, and that's fun.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah. Thank
All
you
right.
guys for having me.
Anything you
we
want to
appreciate
add?
it.
Anything you want people to know about you or about your...
Don't be afraid of immersive theater. I know it can be kind of scary, but we train our actors to kind of pick up on how much you want to do. So if you kind of want to hang back, we can totally tell.
Yeah.
And we'll let you watch. But if you want to be involved and wrap that Christmas present and help with the sacrifice, like we will be there to bring you on. So,
Cool.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Fun. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
of
And
course.
you guys can find all of Natalie's stuff. Like I said, we'll throw it on our website. We'll Podcast for Laughs. And then you can also follow their Facebook page. Say it again. Majestic Repertory Theatre.
Repertory.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's their website. And then they have a Facebook as well.
Yeah, just to echo, yes, majesticrepertory.com. It's obviously www.majesticrepertory.com. Their Facebook can be found at Majestic Rep, MajesticRep, and it can be located at 1217 South Main Street, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89104.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure
go
if
check
you
them
go
out.
through and give a shout out to Natalie, she's super friendly.
Yeah.
She'll give a shout out to you back. For
I
sure.
am friendly.
She's super friendly. That's why we're friends.
Seems like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that wraps up our week, guys. Valentine's week's over. No. I'm so sad. we did a lot of cool stuff this week. Let us know your feedback, what you guys think, what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like. And then we will see you on Monday.
Yep.
Manic Monday.
Actually, I do have one more question.
Go ahead.
Since yesterday we talked about Valentine's Day, do you have any good Valentine's Day stories?
Mike.
I don't know. We don't really do Valentine's Day.
They're a rad couple. So Mike sings and he's what happened? Are they together still, the band?
Well, no, Josh moved back home.
Okay.
So
but they had a band together for a very, very long time. Very, very talented dudes. He's super talented. She's super talented.
He's acting now.
Is he acting now?
Yeah, he's in 12 Angry Men.
Okay, that makes sense. They're just like a power couple when it comes to this stuff. So it's really cool watching you guys, the dynamic of you two, and you guys met so organically.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Like not at a bar getting hit on or with Tinder or anything.
No, it was just
I don't even know what that stuff's like. It's so weird.
And Natalie was one of those girls where she was like, if I find love, cool. If I don't, like she didn't care.
Yeah.
And then she stumbled upon Mike, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Natalie.
Why did she sound like a predator from junior high?
Yeah, we're not very like romantic in the typical way.
No.
What day is it? What day is Valentine's Day? I mean, I know it's the 14th, but
It's on a Thursday.
it's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably just make spaghetti.
You're like Ian.
That's not a euphemism.
Roughly
Yeah.
the same way, yeah.
Just to make spaghetti. Yeah.
I don't know about spaghetti. That sounds like a lot of work.
Oh my
I
gosh.
might order spaghetti
Ian's like,
somewhere
he's like, I like to stay home and
and hide in my room away from the world.
Mm-hmm. With Natalie.
Hey, just stay on social
His
media.
girlfri's name is Natalie.
Yes.
Oh wow!
There you go.
There's not a lot of us out there.
No, but there's definitely two that we know.
I know
Definitely two.
3 now. That's
Whoa.
Three now?
Whoa.
Whoa. Who's
You
the
were-
third?
my
Are you
best.
cheating on me with this, Natalie?
Yes.
Okay.
no, not really. No. My best friend, his stepmom.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
His name is Natalie. So Natalie.
Natalie's
and
Unite.
then Natalie.
Natalie.
Yeah, we're out there.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
They exist.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for us, guys. And make sure you check out everything. Don't forget, we're doing a giveaway when we reach 50 subscribers. So make sure you subscribe. Spread the word. And then all 50 people will be in the running for a surprise gift.
But it's on SoundCloud.
Yes,
Not
SoundCloud.
Facebook, not Twitter, no.
None of that counts.
We want 50 on SoundCloud.
When we get that, we will do fancy giveaways.
Yes.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you Monday.
Yes.
And I hope you guys made a lot of babies yesterday, Branson. Have a good weekend. Good night, everybody.
Bye.